going, as Sylas is going to be locked away here. Will mean that Sett is most likely in the support role. And looks like it is going to be the Sylas top with the Volibear in the jungle. So, Akali is what BDD has decided to take into the Zoe this time. Shroud can certainly be a decent way of making it more difficult for the bubbles to have as much effect. It can still be very rough.
And Volibear versus Olaf is not a... I mean, we've been seeing the matchup a lot, obviously, in recent weeks, but because they're up the same family tree, it all comes down to if Volibear gets ahead of Olaf or if Olaf gets ahead of Volibear, it's very hard for the other one to play.
Yep. We actually have all three.
Yeah, we have all three.
In the family tree.
Yep.
The Sett on the bottom side of the map is going to have a rougher time. Not going to have as much money. But the Olaf and the Volibear, let's see which one is going to reign supreme. Pretty powerful mid-game comp here coming out of Afreeca. The Olaf feels a little bit off-theme because he doesn't have too much augmentation from the rest of his squad.
Yeah.
But we know that Mystic just loves playing with Braum support, so he's probably going to be pretty comfortable there on the bottom side of the map. As this is going to be our Gen.G comp, very low range outside of the Varus. So
yep.
A lot is going to be on Ruler at making sure that he can lay down as much poke before these fights start. And it's going to be difficult for Gen.G to really understand when they're diving and when they're peeling for this Varus.
I'm curious, actually, if Ruler is going to go for the Lethality Varus. Or
yeah, he might be going for
might go attack speed. Yeah.
Definitely some extra options here as we hop onto the Rift for game number 1. Week 5, day 1. Afreeca versus Gen.G. Blue side still has been winning out more often than not here in the LCK. So we'll see whether Afreeca can use that to their advantage. As BDD's got a prestige skin, Fly doesn't. So I guess we know who wins the mid matchup.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. Wrap it up. We can...
Yeah, let's go home.
You know, yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much it. I'm going to give the player of the game to...
BDD.
Chovy.
Ah, yes.
You know, I mean, come on, Alice.
Yeah, I think Chovy debuted this skin, so therefore he deserves player of the game for, you know, showing that it's a good skin in the game.
Yeah. We got a bit of hustling to do here later on in the week for him, by the way.
Yeah, I know. We got to really get him up there.
leading the boards right now for player of the game. We got to fix that.
It's despicable, really.
Yeah. All right, well,
Ooh,
that is an interesting Varus skin.
Is that a chroma? I feel like I haven't seen that particular variation before.
That's a bizarre one.
It is going to be the Lethality Varus. We've got a lot of precision, and it's sort of like a full house of precision and sorcery on the side of Gen.G. Looking elsewhere, we've got some spellbooks that have been unsealed, but only a 2-pair, so I think Gen.G looking like they're winning still, even when it comes to the Keystones. Is Life just wandering towards Ben? Does have Facebreaker available, I believe. Oh no, he's taking Haymaker first, as Mystic takes a lot of damage from that, actually.
Yeah.
That's really cute. We often see Facebreaker taken first, but if you want to just absorb some damage early, you can get a pretty big amount back.
Ooh, and Ruler really getting the better end of these trades. Okay, well, I guess that's what it's like to not be able to play. Oh, that whiffed.
That was a bit rough.
Yeah, that was a nice counter trade by Mystic and Ben. And so right now, I mean, what Ruler and Life can do is Mystic doesn't have teleport. So Wave 3 is coming in. I wish I had Epic Pen. Wave 3 is coming in. They can cheat her. They can just hard shove the wave. And if they do that, Ruler can just recall instantly and pick up a call, or just pick up, you can pick up Longsword and Fairy Charm if he CS's near perfectly, because you would need the 475 gold. So I guess you can get 18 out of 19. So let's see if they end up doing it. This is a perfect cheater recall opportunity. The alternative is if you try to bring down Volibear, you can flip a coin and try to dive on the turret with all the excess minions, but that is kind of variance against Cleanse and Exhaust. You can definitely blunder. Also, Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf could be a problem. He's actually towards the bottom side of the map now, maybe trying to protect against something like that. Spirit has been around for a very long time, so understands all the little tricks. As it looks like Mystic and Ben have managed to at least stabilize a little bit when it comes to health bars, but yeah, Ruler's just having a pretty good time on this Varus at the moment.
Yeah.
Ooh, 5-point strike, not going to land there by B2D. As we have a look at some of the stats, Zoe last week, I believe, had 100% win rate. But you can see Fly's stats really strong on this pick right now. Very impressive. Despite not quite having the damage stats like B2D does, the KDA is pretty up there.
KDA is pretty nuts. I completely agree with you. And kill participation on it as well, 77.5. We'll see how he manages to do with it here. So far, he hasn't really shown us that he's S-tier Zoe player. We're 4 minutes into the game. He didn't roll 2 redemptions yet.
Yeah, exactly. So you need it by level 4. So he is level 4 now. So he does have a Super Soaker, which is pretty good.
It's all right.
But you need redemptions. Otherwise, I just don't think you can really stand toe-to-toe with some of our best Zoe players.
Yeah.
I think Showmaker has it level 3 most of the time these days because he's gotten so good.
True.
Yeah.
This is true.
Damn, that skin's badass. Big fan. It's like, is that the chroma version of like the astronaut one? He looks like Winston from Overwatch. Like.
Oh, he kind of does. Yeah, you're right.
No, I'm not sure whether we're allowed to talk about that, but hopefully I don't get in trouble. As Mystic down to 200, Ben in a whole host of trouble. Has to flash this, a flash forward life. Grabs the true damage and grabs first blood.
And that is a very big kill. And now, with all these minions...
Oh, he's booking it. Ooh, dear.
Yeah. Life doesn't have flash. It's not like he can flash interrupt, but Mystic knew, I need to get out of here. So this is the final wave. So Varus, he can activate W and press the Q. He'll actually apply it to all the minions. And help CS. No, he's not actually going to do that. He's just going to leave the minion wave, and this is going to cause... this wave, which we identify as A, and then the second wave is B. They're going to start moving back in, and Ruler has teleport, so he can just freeze. And that would end up being beneficial. So there's some nuance to the differences, but nonetheless, let's take a look at how this trade takes place. Ben just...
oh, so clean from live.
He's been better, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't even... oh, he gets W.
상태 많이 안 좋아, 할리.
So skills W here.
Yeah.
노플. 나이스!
Said nice, by the way. That was...
yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you
translation.
for that.
Yeah.
Needed that one.
Why just not freeze?
Well, because...
oh, he is. Okay. He's thinning it out. Okay. All right, that's fine. Perfect. And now the freeze threatens Afreeca because if they don't break it, they just die.
Yep, and Ben's just dead again. There's actually no way that he can do anything. Life doesn't even get an assist because the kills come in too quickly, and that cannon minion
they're gonna
perfectly
hold it.
timed. Oh my goodness.
It's a good day today, Atlas.
Whoa.
Very sunny outside, but...
it was definitely feeling too warm, and this is making me feel much better as BD comes on over. Looking for Spirit. See how much damage he can actually find. Currently even on levels with the Olaf, which is a little bit dangerous as Rascal has the slicing maelstrom, flashes forward. Kiin immediately going to flash out. They time their stuns beautifully, but there's a Kingslayer. It's going to be available, and there's Rascal with a solo kill against Kiin.
And that is a very big solo kill for him. Now, Kiin is down a lot in items, right? Because Rascal has already come off of his base, the axe, the undertow, not landing the way that one would hope. And all things are just really falling apart for Afreeca. Really big victory by Rascal. Love what he's doing as well. Goes for the Lost Chapter. And so more of a scaling initial itemization coming out of the Sylas. It'll help him convert a lot better into the mid game. And so the freeze here, it's very problematic because you have Olaf who's going up to the Arctic Ocean, and it's doomed for Afreeca down in bot lane. And then shortly thereafter, you can actually see on the minimap while this trade's happening, Ruler pings. And he's probably saying, I can't do anything to walk up, but on the main screen, Rascal lands the stun, very easy pick up there onto Kiin, and everything is really just, it's crumbling.
Yeah, and it's fallen into place for Gen.G on the other side, so really nicely done here from these guys. Kiin was ahead by a lot of farm, but like you said, hadn't actually been back, hadn't been able to convert all of that extra CS into actual stats, and Rascal picks his moment and finds it beautifully. That may have just saved the lane for him entirely, because he's still behind 20 CS.
Right.
It's pretty crazy as Clid, he's got so much vision in this area. Spirit walked over a ward, in order to get to this red buff. Life, see whether he can actually move on in here. As Clid not wanting to actually threaten the red buff. Now BDD is going to find Spirit, and there is a bear waiting in the wings, ladies and gentlemen. But Spirit's going to find him with his sweeper. Teleport to come down now. But it's just Ruler making his way back to lane. And Spirit is going to survive. And in fact, wasn't punished really at all. Just takes a little bit of poke damage.
Yeah. And Ruler, he's up 30 CS right now.
He has his
Wraith Blade already. Yeah, I mean, this
God.
is so doomed for the opponents. The only saving grace right now on the side of Afreeca would be a Zoe Hail Mary somehow in mid-game, but things are looking very gross because Afreeca's team composition is one that had to get ahead early, and if it didn't, it would come down to Zoe and her bubbles as a means to sort of reclaim control of the game, because the scaling component, it is so far on the side of Gen.G compared to that of Afreeca's team composition. And Afreeca now, they're trying to take a Rift Herald fight, and that's not going to happen.
Maybe if that bubble had landed, things could have been a bit better. But Shelly's going to get pretty impatient here as Ruler just wandered all the way back up. And it looks like they are going to be able to just take away the Rift Herald. Strength in numbers here, guys. That's what's going to get that one for Gen.G. Clid comes on over, he'll smite that one away. Mystic cleared a minion wave on the bottom side though, so he's pulled back a little bit in the farm, but as you can see, it's still 30 CS. As Ruler and Life will clear out this mid lane, as Akali makes her way back from base. And yeah, Fly massively chunked just from 1 Q. Parting gift there from Ruler.
Well, does look like Fly rolled an Ignite.
It's not bad.
Not bad
I mean,
at all.
it's no redemption, but
Yeah,
it's still not bad.
You know.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Well, rumor has it that Chovy would have rolled 10 redemptions by now.
Yeah, no.
And he actually would have used it to farm top and bot lane.
And that's what allows him to have his CSD stats.
Right. He would actually have 190 farm right now.
Yeah. Embarrassing, really.
Truly.
Well, Mystic struggling in the CS department. In fact, is only one ahead of Clid, who, by the way, is a jungler. Not great.
Well, definitely not good.
Kiin looking for this one. The bubble is going to land. BDD will have the next charge of the ult and uses it to get out. Holds onto his flash. Easy as you like. And Gen.G might even be able to convert, but it should be a 50-50. Spirit unable to lock that one down. Ragnarok now being utilized. Not going to be slowed or anything like that. If that Q had landed, I have a feeling that he may have just died from half health. Because this is a very, very strong Varus. Because it's going to be Mountain Soul.
Yeah, and I mean, Mountain Soul is super unfortunate for Afreeca.
Yeah.
Because it's unlikely that they're going to be in a position to contest that initial dragon. So they're going to be staring down Mountain Soul legitimately. And that should probably be the last hurrah team fight. But the reason that Mountain is so problematic for them is none of their champions really build penetration super early. So any little amp is going to be very problematic. Kalista's already stunted.
I mean, if she has to build Mortal Reminder or Dominic's Regard or anything like that earlier on, it means that 3-item spike that you look for with the Bloodthirster or the Death Stance and her first 2 core items, it's going to be completely removed for a very long time, and she's already just way too far behind. So I think you're exactly right. This is a rough one. Might mean 2nd or 3rd item Void Star for Fly as well, assuming that they're not going to be able to start stacking up the Mountain Drakes themselves, because, I mean, Mountain Soul against this Varus is going to be very, very useful.
Yeah.
I don't think we're seeing Gen.G letting up the pressure at all thus far. And that is so much more money going over to Ruler. Oh my god, this Varus is just going to be obscene in the mid-game.
Ruler's gonna get all of the solo turret gold and the last plate picked up by himself.
And now going to smash down this this last minion wave, and he can get a very, very easy recall and move to any lane, right? Like, this is going to be now the Varus being able to basically patrol any lane that he feels like, and no one's really going to be able to crash it in, because he's already so accelerated when it comes to the money. Another serrated Dirk now completed, and you basically just throw a piercing arrow through a minion wave, and it is just done. So endless wave clear now an option for Gen.G.
And we'll see what Afreeca is going to try to do to manage to come back inside of this game, because by the time that Mountain Drake does come up, Kalista, she'll have Blade of the Ruin King, Zoe will probably have tier 2 boots. Kennen, it's hard to imagine he's going to have anything more meaningful. He already has the Sork Pen boots and the Proto Belt, but on the flip side, Gen.G's item completions are more meaningful to their champions, and their recipe items are also going to be there, and this is just a byproduct of them being ahead.
Yep, another fight here as Rascal finds yet another stun onto Kiin. Kiin does have the range advantage though, and there's the Proto Belt. Redemption comes in! Fly demonstrating that he's just a good player. And that's the dash away. Really nice. Abscond there from Rascal to get himself out of the way. And he will survive, but did have to use the flash. Spirit had to use his as well, but still definitely high value against the top laner of Gen.G. All right.
Yeah, lightning comes down by Clid.
Life's just sitting on top of a ward though. It's not great news. But it does mean that Varus is now going to be able to move up to this minion, this turret. And we'll start chunking this one down. Oh, just so frustrating.
Yeah, it's very hard right now for them to play. They're down 3,000 gold. The Mountain is in just over a minute. Total damage dealt so far. Seems like Varus is leading the charts. Kalista doing fantastic. Exquisite, honestly, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
600.
Yeah, it's like...
it's 100 more than Braum.
It's more than... it's just a bit more than half of what Life has done, which is pretty impressive. A bit of sarcasm there, guys. Mystic's had a bit of a rough game thus far. Which does make sense. I mean, once a Varus gets ahead in a Kalista lane, how does she ever walk up and actually hit him with anything? Just don't think you can. I don't think you're allowed to.
And right now, Ruler, I mean, they could recall. Mountain Drake is coming up. The wave is crashed. Ruler's going to take some aggro because of his corrupting potion.
Yeah, well, there's another redemption. Fly picking it back up. I like it a lot. That was a Chains of Corruption that came down, but that's just going to guarantee the outer turret. Gen.G playing this one pretty by the book at the moment. 3.3k, their gold lead. Rascal back here towards the bottom side. He's got his Super Soaker. He's ready for a water fight. As Afreeca, they want to grab Shirley here. Take one of the Herald sisters for themselves.
And they're going to pick this up. Everything is going to be pretty fine for the most part.
Oh my god, it's an Umbral Blade.
Yeah,
well.
So Varus is... I mean, he's light years ahead of Kalista right now. He has the Executioners as well, just for added pressure inside of the fight. For some reason, Fly... Well, I guess they're just going to give up the Dragon anyway, so he's moved up into top lane.
Yeah, no way they're going to be able to grab this, so it means that Gen.G secure themselves Soul Point, and the gold lead is just stretching and stretching, and these item timings that you were talking about are starting to come in over and over again. I think we've spoken about Hextech Gunblade as the power spike in BDD many times. He now has that one available to him. This tower is not going to last too much longer, as Shirley gets a bit of a charge, but they're not even going to be able to take down this turret. BDD is going to be absolutely fine. Drake is taken, so that is that soul point that we were talking about. And Ruler, even when he's up against Kiin and Ben, he's going to be absolutely fine. 2.3 thousand gold in the lead.
Yeah, this is very, very rough right now for Afreeca to play. It just really seems like they're content with going through the motions. Now, obviously, this is the stage of the game where I mentioned the F word, but we're gonna stay away from it right now. It's totally fine.
No. It's not a game for that.
Yeah.
I think the F words actually cancel each other out. Oh, actually, no. Olaf, he Freljordian?
What? Is he?
He's a Viking, so I assume he's in cold weather. I don't know.
Okay.
That's my... look, you're the lore guy, not me.
Yeah. We're a specialist over here.
But Gen.G only has Volibear. So...
Have you seen Lilia?
Yeah, we had a conversation about her, I think.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah. How are you feeling about this particular champion? BDD is going to try and take down Fly here. Bubbles on cooldown, I think, for a bit. Gunblade was picked up, pops back into the Shroud. He tries to get out. There's the showstopper, and somehow BDD survives just playing around in the fog of war. And thankfully, he's got some friends here on the map. The Bash brothers turn up, good old Sett and Volibear. You mentioned that they're basically the same champion.
They're family.
They are, but it feels like I'm watching the Mighty Ducks, you know?
Yeah.
It is actually just the Bash brothers. As Mystic has to cleanse, Clid now looking for a snare, gets the flash instead, and is very happy with that. Gen.G just removed the summoner spells from the Kalista. About as easy as you like.
Well, at this point, 3 minutes until the mountain comes up. I am really curious to see that replay again. And I like the itemization here out of BDD. Picks up an Oblivion Orb. No one on Afreeca really has any magic resist. However, on the side of Afreeca, we have some people picking up Oblivion Orb. And instead of Void Staff, because it should just be Kalista.
I think they just need as much pen as they can find.
Olaf. Yeah.
Well, Clid's in trouble. He's going to have to ult himself out. Does flash, gets to relative safety. The exhaust going to be pretty handy. Meanwhile, on the top side, Spirit has found Ruler. Ruler did manage to grab the kill onto Mystic, but it looks like he is going to be taken down. That is a lot of money. Going over to the Viking is now Rascal. Wants to abscond his way out. Fly with a great sidestep, though. As BDD trying to dash around and cause a ruckus. Ben's in a bit of trouble, but the bubble's going to land. And now Clid should be able to find Fly, but it doesn't even seem to matter here. BDD surviving for way too long. 5-point strikes are in. There's the passive. Whoa. Doesn't find the backflip. But the Q is going to land there from Rascal, and it was messy. But in the end, it was Gen.G reigning supreme. Ben should be able to make it to this outer turret in mid lane. But BDD might be able to push this minion wave out. At least gets the experience there for that cannon minion. He might be able to break this one down as 8-2, the kill score as the dust settles.
Yeah, and I mean, Gen.G, it really looked like they were fumbling that initially, but they managed to salvage it nonetheless in the end. And at the very start of that, what you see is Ruler just straightens up Mystic really quick. Very easy. God. Execution onto him. Ruler flashes over. I like what he was trying to do. I think his face was turning to the left, but then he flashes to the right, maybe trying to deceive Spirit.
Yep.
Who's going in dark on the flash. Ends up not mattering. Kiin finds himself a really nice slicing Maelstrom. Rascal obviously stealing it away. Ends up casting his own shortly thereafter. Doesn't manage to actually lock up Fly, but not the end of the world. It looked like they were going to be able to bring him down, but the healing on Sylas. BDD came in off the teleport. Spirit finally got there, and Fly had no way back in. Clid eventually chasing him down, but never really able to stand united was Afreeca. And Gen.G, I mean, they reign victorious at the end of the day. 50 seconds until Mountain Soul comes up, and things are just looking so doomed. That's the Leandries on Rascal, so...
I think we know who was winning player of the game for this one.
Yeah.
He's got his mask for safe water fights with his Super Soaker timepiece to make sure he knows when to come home. Just incredible, really. I'm very, very impressed. As BDD's level 14, the Akali has been pretty good so far, and I actually really like how Gen.G have been going in for more chaos mode with their composition that can do it very well. I mean, you look at Sylas and Akali, and they love to play that sort of smoke and mirrors, scrappy style of gameplay.
Yeah.
And you're only going to complement that with the Volibear and the Sett Bash Bros. As Q gonna miss there. Bubble's going to land though as Fly looking for Ruler. Takes a fair bit of damage, but not quite enough as the Ignite comes on top of the Varus. Fly's flash now on cooldown as we're looking at the Mountain Soul availability here for Gen.G. As Rascal picks up a Slicing Maelstrom. The Sett set up for a flank. This showstopper could actually be huge. BDD's going to be on vision as Rascal looks for the abduct but doesn't quite find it. Still makes his way in. The Sett with a gigantic face breaker, and BDD surviving for so damn long. Double kill for Rascal. Fly running for the hills as Mystic. He's still alive, looking for the kills here, but it's just not going to be enough. The man advantage is too big for Gen.G, and it should just mean the Mountain Drake belongs to them.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see Mystic. He does not really know what to do right now. Life is down here. Has a decent amount of HP.
Well, some good avoidance there from Ruler, as Mystic knows that there are a few cooldowns down.
Grab Rave.
It was actually very cute.
I don't...
Mystic's buying a lot of time here, but you can see that the Drake is still going to get taken by the Volibear. And Ruler's going to be able to grab that kill.
He made him walk the plank.
Yeah.
Is basically what ended up happening there. And here we have it. Dragon goes for a Fire Breath.
Good.
Yeah, but the right hook by Volibear. All right, well, they've really interrupted that. that.
Damn.
Yeah, damn observer. Gonna have wars with them in the break. Superplex onto
that
5.
was so sick.
Slicing Maelstrom coming out by both parties. VDD, he ends up going down, but it doesn't matter. He dished out more than enough damage. Mystic does kill Rascal. Fly gets Fly swatted by the large Volibear. And in the end, nothing really left for Afreeca to do inside of this game. It's a 7,000 gold advantage for Gen.G. Mountain Soul is online. All that is remaining now is just to take the Baron and then eventually end the game. So, one last song and a dance. I don't think there is any conceivable way for them to lose this at this point, because both of these team compositions, you're seeing how the fights unfold. It's a very attack move, death ball into one another.
Oh yeah, it's just scrappy, right? Like Gen.G are playing it right if there's utter chaos on the map. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Feels like an every man for himself comp.
Yeah.
And Gen.G are a team that are known for their coordination, but I like the fact that they're playing this particular style this well, because sometimes they've had a habit of maybe playing a little bit too reserved.
Yeah.
And a little bit too slowly. This time around, they are certainly embracing the chaos, which I imagine Clid may have helped teach the rest of the LCK players. His LPL knowledge certainly going to be coming in handy there. As Gen.G, they're just going to lay down as much vision as possible around this Baron, and I think that they can start it and wait for Afreeca to come at them and then win a team fight. Then take the Baron, then win the game.
Well.
Space Bear.
Oh, there it is, the redemption. 25 minutes.
No, we've seen a bunch of the redemptions,
but you know,
yeah,
we don't talk.
A 25-minute redemption is not what you really want. Like, level 14 is not level 4, you know?
True.
I could probably math out how much more levels that is than 4.
True.
Might be something, I think it's like between 9 and 11, I'm not entirely sure. It's Clid. Just trying to clear this vision where he can.
I'm trying to understand why Gen.G are being so reserved right now, because it's not like they're waiting on any item completions, because they effectively have the items. When you have Fiendish Codex and Stopwatch with another Amptome, you basically have Zhonya's. So, Volibear likewise, there's no big item completion that's coming in that would dramatically change how he's going to conduct himself. For some reason, Akali built a Morello. There's really not
There's a Spirit Visage on Spirit. You know?
We're stretching. We are really... I actually can feel my stretch mark forming on my body right now.
Yeah, it's not great. I do like the 1-3-1 that Gen.G are doing, though. I mean, there is absolutely no way that Afreeca answer a 1-3-1 for this composition. Rascal's already shown that he can 1v1 Kiin. And so if you split the map, Gen.G will be able to get waves into the right positions. And then you could almost 3-man the Baron pretty comfortably here as Gen.G. So they do have a lot of options. The gold lead is just stretching and stretching. And we've even got some Boots of Swiftness here for Ruler. Should be able to get out of trouble a little bit more comfortably.
And this is just going to be Kiin trying to make it to his 3rd item. He's been sitting on this for quite a while now, so I'm actually curious where he's going to go next. I think you just have to go for Void Staff no matter what.
I agree.
Olaf is stuck now on items. It looks like Zoe is going into... Zoe built... I thought Fly was going to build Void Staff because he was sitting on Blasting and Amptome, but he still hasn't gone that way. It looks like he's going into Zhonya's Death Stance. Going to be the next item on Kalista, and so no penetration for her either.
Yeah.
And so this is definitely bad news bears.
It's a roughie, 100%. Ruler just needs to sell his Corrupting Potion and then build one more item, and he's fully kitted out. But he's already doing just way too much damage. This minion wave is being left by Gen.G on purpose. Umbral Glaive here from Ruler, just to help them scout things out. And it looks like Clid might just come over and start the Baron, but Afreeca decided that they want to check it out right when he was making that decision. It's not going to happen. BDD clears out that mid wave. Gen.G just moved towards top side. We've got a reset coming through from Ben, but that was outside of vision for Gen.G, so not able to actually capitalize on that one. As Bubble connects onto the bear, means absolutely nothing. Fly not going to get tagged by the piercing arrow, and Spirit just lying in wait, waiting for his opportunity. And yeah, Ruler's got Edge of Night, so he is the most okay right now.
Yeah, I'm not Well, 1 minute until Elder is going to be coming up. And when we look at the base levels as well, you have 2 level and 80 carry. Junglers are actually even right now. Top lane is very close to being even. I imagine Kiin is very close to hitting 16. Rascal, however, I guess he is very close to 17. But support is actually ahead. And the reason that this is happening is because they're so far behind in EXP, the waves just all keep coming into them. And then occasionally Gen.G misses out on some of the minions that get thrown back to them. And when this just keeps happening over and over enough, it's actually letting the XP discrepancy be closed somewhat.
Just a little bit.
Because the jungle camps, obviously, they're all still down, so it's not even like Gen.G are getting control of every single one of them. I mean, golems are up right now. We'll see if Clid manages to get it. Gold difference over time.
I think Ruler's been taking a lot more solo experience. You can see he's 2 levels ahead. That might explain why Ben has a little bit more. He sort of has to be near his Oath Sworn more often.
Yeah.
As, yep, I don't think this Paddle Star's going to do too much. As Kiin, that's not a flanking maneuver, but Gen.G, they're going to go for one. As now BDD coming through for the pincer as all the way forward goes Gen.G. Some great Zonyas or stopwatches there, but BDD dashes on forward. Big damage, but that's a fadeaway from Life as he goes into his stopwatch as well. Mystic still alive, however. BDD finally presses his golden button, and no one on Gen.G is dead yet. Mystic to fall down. That is a clean ace, and that will be the game here for Gen.G.
And so it just ends between 2 turrets. So that was a lot of build up for this final fight. I love the Pengu emote. I just gotta really shout that one out. That one is the...
I love the Longzhou emote for absolutely no reason at all. Rascal throwing that one to just salute his former team from a very long time ago. I didn't even know whether he was on that team when it was called Longzhou. I know BDD definitely was.
Well, this was definitely a bit of a stomp.